What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to part 2 of the series where I read the random book that I found in the middle of the woods. This book right here, journal number 3, which implies the existence of 2 other journals. I'll have to look into it. But let's get right into it. So where we last left off, the author had discovered a mysterious document that he couldn't crack the code to that could be exposing the fraud of the Northwest family. So let's keep reading. The strange document has proven indecipherable. Nonetheless, I believe its very existence is enough to prove that the Northwest family history is a fraud. I traveled to Northwest Manor to confront Old Man Northwest with this evidence of his family's deceit. But instead it was met by his snotty son Preston and his pet fox Hunter. Not wanting my well-rehearsed tirade to go to waste, I launched into a list of his family crimes. Lying about the founding of the town, breaking treaties with the natives, making self-promoting weather vanes. The boy was unmoved until I offhandedly mentioned the Great Flood of 1863. He was so panicked about what I said that he had me forcibly escorted from the premises. Have I stumbled upon one more misdeed of this accused clan? I put one cover-up aside and have begun to investigate another. The great secret of the Great Flood. I followed the flood path back from Northwest Manor toward my own house and made a gruesome discovery. Countless lumberfolk died in the flood of 63, and all of them were under the Northwest's employment. And it seems that many, if not most, of their cadavers had washed up directly under my own porch, 100 years before I was here. No wonder Northwest Realty sold this land to me at a discount. This property is built on a graveyard, which may explain why I've seen so many sightings of the undead. Known for their pale skin and bad attitudes, these creatures are often mistaken for... Did I read that right? Known for their pale skin and bad attitudes, these creatures are often mistaken for teenagers. Beware of Gravity Falls' nefarious zombies. Many seem to be undead lumberjacks from the flood, but since they bite new victims when they rise each month, I have seen a zombie mailman, a zombie cop, and a zombie boy scout. I refuse to buy his cookies. Their skulls are unbreakable. I cannot find a single weakness. I will watch my back at night and keep a shovel handy. Since learning how dangerous my own lab grounds are, I have been researching forms of magical defense against zombies. Enchanted daggers are handy. I don't recommend double-edged swords, though. It is possible to cure zombification. Mix 1 cup formaldehyde, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 teaspoons paint thinner, 1 quart newt split, and a pinch of cinnamon for taste. This only works until the 10th hour following contamination. If you take it any later, you're undead meat. A zombie skull ground up can be used to coat your body. The smell will trick zombies, and anyone else really, into avoiding you. For the sake of science, I suppose I should also include a zombie summoning spell. I'm not entirely sure why I'm writing this down, but I'm a stickler for being complete about a subject. Do not read aloud. Well, I can't read aloud, so we're going to go to the next page. Magic items. While I'm on the subject, I would like to catalog some of the more recent magical and mysterious items I've encountered in Gravity Falls. These put the junk sold at my family's pawn shop to shame. Cloak of occasional visibility. Found in an ancient trunk at a local estate sale, this mysterious cloak makes its wearer completely invisible. Half the time. The other half of the time, it flickers on and off again, usually at the worst possible moment while you wander around trying to find a good invisibility signal. Very frustrating. Crystal Baldwin. Found buried deep within the mines, this crystal head of a perpetually frowning bald man, labeled Baldwin, tells your future, but always in rambling complaints. Going to rebury him. Tie of Possession. My personal invention was created in college as part of a government-funded assignment regarding political persuasion. My prototype won first place and was given over to men in black suits. They never gave me back the original, but luckily I kept a few others. Giant's Thumb. Found in the forest with no explanation of any kind. Not sure if it's magical, but it certainly is a good conversation starter. Currently using it as a coffee table. If I ever have a hitchhiking emergency, this will come in handy. a bit concerned that an angry thumbless giant may retrieve to return it. Truth-telling teeth. Buried neath a tree stump in the deep forest are truth teeth, which force upon the wearer an inability to lie. Not sure who created these, but I certainly think a number of humans, politicians, lawyers, TV executives, etc., would be improved by their use. As an experiment, I tried wearing them for a day. They fit over my regular teeth quite snugly, but I immediately found that people don't like me very much when I'm honest. I accidentally made the mailman cry. It's not my fault he's abnormally hairy. Legends of miniature buffaloes and giant squirrels have led me to believe that there are height-altering properties hidden deep within the forest. Initial testing indicates these crystals hold the power to alter any living creature's height. Height altering. Such a power could be extremely useful as both a weapon and a tool. Plus, it might be nice to be an inch or two taller. I will have to search for the source of these crystals when time permits. I feel myself weary from months of exhaustive research, and although I have found many incredible things, the grand unified theory of weirdness eludes me. I need to get away and clear my head before I can make any meaningful progress on my theory. Local lumberjack boyish Dan Corduroy owns a majestic cabin in the most remote part of the woods. It has been in his family for generations, but sits unused. He hemmed and hawed when I asked him to stay there for a few nights, but after paying him so handsomely for the construction of my own humble cottage, he was obliged to agree. Sorry, my throat is giving me issues. He did, however, warn me to lock myself in my bedroom before the stroke of midnight, or else risk losing my very soul. Sounds like he's been inhaling too much sawdust. Off to the cabin for some rest and relaxation. Ghosts! I now know why Dan feared lending me this cabin. It is exceedingly haunted. But if there is one thing I know about hauntings, is that they always have a reason of some kind. Restless spirits are looking for someone to put them to rest. You can't see it. Hold on. Ectoplasm sample. I will simply conduct a quick seance and ask the ghost what it needs. Although forming a circle is rather hard with one person. ... I was wrong about everything! Rather than lay the spirit to rest, my seance summoned an untold number of his unearthly brethren. The ghost sphere is so much more complicated than I have ever imagined. Over the past 2 sleepless nights, I have been bedeviled by no less than 10 distinct varieties of phantom, each deadlier than the last. We start on the not-so-deadly end of the scale. Category 1. Ghosts in this category pose no threat to humanity. In fact, their fondest wish seems to be an impossible desire to rejoin the human race, or at least become the best friend of whatever person they can latch onto. The Category 1 I discovered in Dan's cabin kept trying to get me involved in G-rated adventures, oblivious to the fact that I'm a man in his 30s and not a 13-year-old girl. In other words, the only way a Category 1 can harm you is by annoying you to death. Category 2, pranksters. Similar in appearance to Category 1's, pranksters usually appear in groups of 2 or 3. That's because if any of these jerks were on their own, they'd get their transparent butt kicks all the way back to the netherworld. Always have "kick me" or "possess me" signs they tape to your back. On the bright side, they love to pick on Category 1s. Category 3, gluttons. For creatures without physical bodies, gluttons are able to generate an incredible amount of body odor. These rapacious wraiths will breeze right past you and attack the contents of your refrigerator. Unfortunately for them, they're not able to digest anything they consume, so all your food ends up on the floor. Goer from the movie Phantom Bustifiers was clearly inspired by these horrors. Category 4. You've heard of paintings where the eyes follow you? Well, turn your back and this phantom literally follows you across the room. She was able... Oh, you can't see the picture. She was able to leap from image to image, even appeared on my $5 bill. Category 5, soul suckers. Soul suckers feed on the life force of their human prey. They work slowly and silently. Given enough time, they can consume their victim's entire soul. Fortunately, I discovered one feeding off me rather quickly and squashed him like a supernatural mosquito. I have no idea how to clean the bits of life force off Dan's dining room table. Category 6. Phantoms of Pain. These guys dress in black leather and always have some painful-looking jewelry sticking through various body parts. But what they really want is to inflict pain on you. Luckily, they can't touch you unless you summon them. The phantom I sought, Dan's, tried to pretend that I'd asked for them, but I simply said, nope. He muttered some lame threats, shuffled his feet, and then disappeared. Jerk. Category 7. The Eternal Key. One desperate soul in each generation is transformed into the Eternal Key. An unhappy apparition who never knows what she's supposed to do or where she's supposed to be. This makes for a very noisy haunting with lots of complaining. There's only one thing that will end the Eternal Key's torment, and she has no idea what it is. Category 8. The Petrifying Rock. What she's supposed to do is open the petrifying rock, unleashing the unperceivable. Whoever he is, he sounds nasty. Luckily, these two have trouble synchronizing their schedules. The key wandered around for being obnoxious for a half hour and then disappeared. 10 minutes later, the rock materialized. He gave a look around the place, sighed, and vanished. I have a feeling this happens a lot. Category 9. Dream Hipsters. Dream hipsters are nefarious spirits who specialize in turning perfectly pleasant dreams into horrifying nightmares, and then get all boastful about it. These guys are never simply satisfied with scaring you to death. They need to bring you to the brink of extinction and then pull you back from it so you can admire their handiwork. Please just kill me already if I can skip all the bragging. After haunting me for 20 hours straight, the ghosts in Dan's place finally took a break. I fell asleep and immediately started dreaming. I was back in school and everyone was staring at my hand. They all kept chanting, "Six-fingered freak! Six-fingered freak!" The more they chanted, the larger my hand grew. Sorry, disclaimer, my throat is being weird today. I tried to shake my hand to make it stop, and it fell off my arm. My hand grew and grew and grew and began to chase me. Suddenly, I realized my hand wasn't chasing after me at all. It was chasing after my brother, and it was going to squeeze him to death. It grabbed him and lifted him to the air. I tried to run to help him, but my feet were frozen. Just when it looked like my brother was done for, the hipster appeared and said, "Looks like you finally gave your brother a hand!" The entire thing was just a setup for one of the hipster's stupid, snarky puns. I woke up suddenly, thankful to be alive, and doubly thankful that I wouldn't have to hear any more dumb puns. However, I soon fell asleep again, and the hipster was back with another nightmare. This time, he erupted his own work about halfway through to make sure I knew who was responsible and that I had heard his new terrible joke. More nightmares followed, with each one with some stupid one-liner. Well, I'm not given the satisfaction of seeing any one of them written down in this journal. As far as I can tell, Category 10s are the highest category of ghosts there is, and the most dangerous. The Grim Reaper is merely the most... Let me read properly. The Grim Reaper is merely the most famous of these phantoms, and not nearly the most terrifying. The Grave Filler and the Slim Creeper are both more deadly. The Reaper simply has made an effort to get itself out in the public eye more than the others. Good PR. When the temperature in my cabin dropped 30 degrees, the deer heads on the wall began screaming, and the fireplace started to fill with blood. It occurred to me that I might have a Category 10 on my hands. When this figure arrived, I knew for sure. Category 10, danger. And if you ain't afraid of no ghosts, you're an idiot. Fearing them is totally irrational. Also, ain't afraid of no is a double negative, so either way the ghosts win. Hey, want to see a ghost? Here's a ghost. Hope you like it. I thought of you when I saw this page. What does it mean? My terrifying weekend at Dan's cabin has left me more hopeless about my investigations than ever before, and I'm beginning to reach my wit's end. 6 years and 3 journals. 3 journals. I was right. 3 journals worth of research, and I'm still no closer to finding answers than when I started. What is Gravity Falls' secret? What is the unified theory of weirdness? What is the theory of weirdness? I don't know. And that's where we're going to end the video today, my friends. So we have made it through section 1 and 2 parts of the series. I hope you enjoyed. I do apologize for my throat. For some reason, whenever I talk, my throat starts to hurt, so I swallow a lot. But hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the near future.